Good morning, everyone. My name is Rabbi Lesser, Director of Pastoral Care here at Gurwin Jewish. I hope everyone had a wonderful week. We are continuing our Oneg Shabbat series for the time being until we're allowed to gather fully together, which hopefully will be soon. For the meantime, we'll share some songs for Shabbos, for Shabbat, and about the Parsha of the week, the weekly Torah reading, and we hope this will put everyone in a great mood for the coming Shabbat tonight. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashores, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashores, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashores, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'achem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'achem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'achem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlochim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Teitchem l'shalom malachei shalom malachei elyon Mehi melech malchei amlachim Kadosh Baruch Hu. Since we changed the clock, Shabbat begins tonight at approximately 7 o'clock and leaves tomorrow night approximately at 8 o'clock. This week, we have 2 portions of the Torah that we read. Actually, really 3. As in synagogue, we take out 3 Sifrei Torah to read from them. One is the regular weekly portion, Parshat Tazria, which talks about leprosy. We'll speak about in a few minutes. Second is for Rosh Chodesh, for tonight, Shabbat is the first of the month of Nisan. And finally, Parshat HaChodesh, which speaks about the first commandment of the Jews receiving in Egypt, on the way out of Egypt, receiving the commandment to sanctify the new moon for Rosh Chodesh as well. So first we'll begin talking about the weekly Parsha, Parshat Tazria. It talks about tsaras, leprosy. And although certainly it's been documented medically that there's a disease called leprosy, the leprosy that the Torah speaks about is a little bit different. Because yes, it includes skin abrasions and skin disease, but really the Torah tells us, it explains it comes from another place as well. It really comes from an ailment of one's soul. When one has bad character traits, they're not a nice person, specifically regarding speaking bad about other people, lashon hara, evil speech, spreading rumors, false rumors, negative things that people have done to others. Hey, you know what this person did? When a person does acts of that, all of a sudden he gets leprosy on him. And the leprosy is supposed to reflect on him that not just that medically there's an issue, but spiritually there's an issue as well. As the Rambam explains, leprosy is a sickness of the soul. And the Torah goes ahead in great details explaining the process that you don't go to a doctor, you go to the high priest, and the high priest sees you, he says, listen, this type of leprosy is not a medical leprosy, it's a spiritual leprosy. And when a person hears that, they are supposed to examine their deeds, examine their ways, and see how they could improve themselves. And this is the lesson the Torah teaches us, that we always have to act nice to others, be true to other people. Someone does something wrong to you, it happens. Don't start spreading it to other people. Don't be the one, the peddler, spreading the bad rumors about other people, what they've done to you. Just accept it. And the Torah's way of explaining to us how this concept is through the concept of leprosy. And when a person sees that, he realizes it, he changes his way for the better. We don't have leprosy nowadays. We have the medical leprosy, but certainly not the spiritual leprosy. But in our own ways, in our own lives, we have to look for situations where we can improve. Look for situations where we could say nice things about other people, and obviously never say anything negative about anybody else. Lecha dehodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela lecha dehodi Likras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela Shamar v'zachar v'dibur echad ishmiyanu kelam yuchad Hashem echad u'shmo yechad Shemo sefer ezveles hila lechad odi likras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela likras Shabbos Choven el chag yehi mekor haverdacha Meidosh mikerem nesuchas av maaseh v'machshavot chila lechad odi Kras kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela mikdash melech ir melucha komitzi mitoch hafechor avlach shaves b'yemekabacha v'yachamo l'layichem l'lecha dodi Kras kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela hisna'ari me'afar kumi levshi bigdei sefartecha mi al yad ben yishai beis alachmi Karva el nafshi ge'ala lecha dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekavela his orderly kiva ahore kumi ori Shir dabering evod Hashem alayich nigla lecha dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekavela lo sei v'oshi v'lo sikami mahadish tochachi umatemi b'hach yechzu Ani yeyami v'nivnisa ir al tila lecha dodi Kras kala pnei Shabbos nekavela lahayo lemshisa shahoy sayich v'rachaku kol mevalayich yosis olayich eloi hayich Ke'em soizcha sanahal kala lecha dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabelam yamin usmal tefrotzi Yes Hashem nahariti al yad ben yishai beis alachmi Karva el nafshi ge'ala lecha dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekavela v'wi b'shalom Asheres bala gamberina u'v'tzahala tochem unei Am segula ba'wikala lecha dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekavela Tonight is Rosh Chodesh, the first of the month of Nisan, and to celebrate this we have a special reading of the Torah, Parshat HaChodesh, the first new moon of the month of the year. And the story is that as the Jews were about to leave Egypt, God said to them, in 2 weeks' time now you will leave Egypt. I'm giving you your first commandment to sanctify the new moon, to bless the new moon. We know the moon, the way it works is that for the first 15 days of the month it becomes more visible and visible, turning into a full moon in the middle of the month, and then it wanes down to nothing by the end of the month, and the new month begins again, and it gets bigger and bigger to the 15th and lower. And that's the way our vision of the moon works. The moon obviously is always the same size, but the way God created the world, we only see at the beginning of the month a little bit, it gets bigger and bigger, then it goes down. And this represents a very, very important fundamental idea in Judaism, and really in life itself. There are times in life when things are great, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the whole moon is there, we can see the entire picture, things are wonderful. But then it starts to wane, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and life becomes more difficult. But our belief in God is that even though, yes, there are times it gets smaller, it will renew itself and get bigger once again. And we trust in God that in life there are times when things are good and times when things are difficult, but even the difficult times will pass and things will become good. The moon will become full once again. And every month of the year, every year in our life, you have a chance to renew, start fresh, and start again and try to connect to God, connect to people in a better way. And this is such an important lesson in the world we're living in right now. So much difficulties, one thing after another, it seems like. But we know bad times will pass and good times will come. And that's our faith. When a person strengthens their faith and believes in God, that good times will come, he has a new appreciation of life and he could forge on, feel good about himself, feel good about his connection to God, feel good about people, and live life full of happiness. Adon Olam Asher Molach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'es Nasa B'chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yacharei Kechlos HaKol Levahado Yimloch Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yiyeh B'sifara V'hu Echad V'yein Sheni Lehamshila Lehachvira V'li Reishis V'li Sachlis V'lahoz V'hamisra V'hu Keli V'chai Goali V'tur Chavli V'yes Nasa V'hu Nisi Umanosli Minas Kosi B'yom Ekra B'yahado Avkid Ruchi V'yes Ishan V'yahira V'yimruchi Giviyasi Ado Shem Li V'lo Ira. And a happy and healthy Shabbat, a great weekend. We'll see everybody next week.